Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to another episode of powder coating. Today we're going to be trying a new color, well maybe a few new colors. So it's the Eastwood hot coat powder. I'd have to look at the pack to see what color it is, but we're going to go ahead and we're going to try to get this. We're going to try to go ahead and get this rear sprocket on a sport bike coated and see how that turns out. So obviously we're gotta go ahead and it's pretty clean since it's brand new. We're gonna go ahead and clean it up and spray it and see how it turns out. So got everything cleaned up, and this is how I have it hanging in the box. It would be nice to hang this thing this way, but it won't fit in the oven like that, so I had to hang it this way. And I got the ground wire going up and attached to these three, and then the hard part's going to be after it's coated, getting those three off and putting it on top of and fastening it to this. So let's go ahead and see if we can get it coated. And again, we're going to start off with the low voltage setting, because obviously on this rotor you can see there's quite a few edges and all that kind of stuff. So in there very carefully, and once again we got the timer going. We're going to see how long it takes for this part to start flowing and what degrees. Pretty excited to see how it turns out. Alright, so at about 5 minutes it started flowing out, and we've got 327, temperature of 327 at about 5 minutes. Alright, so right around 9 minutes is when the part reached 400. So now we got it set to do another 20 for it to cure, and then we'll be able to get it out and see what it looks like. So far so good. It's done. We just got to let it cool off before we get it out and we're able to look at it completely. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, there she is. The rear sprocket off of a sports bike, and it came out really well. Again, like I keep saying, this thing was super clean. It was brand new, and yeah, it looks really well, really good. All right, so it's day 2. We're going to continue with powder coating more stuff. We got to continue getting some bolts and everything powder coated. We're going to switch to the blue color. We're going to try to do the bolt heads and the studs and everything for an engine build that we're doing, all in blue. So we're going to see how that turns out. So we're going to get started cleaning those up, preheating the oven, getting everything set up, and seeing how it turns out. So we got our engine case bolts, we got some head studs, and we got some other bolts. I'm not even sure where all these go, but we'll figure it out. So these are going to be our test bolts. We're going to put them in the oven, get them heated up, bake everything off of them, clean them up real good, and then go ahead and coat them and see how they turn out. While we're waiting for those to heat up, we're going to go ahead and cover this in tin foil for the next batch. I'm covering it in tin foil so that way I can poke the bolts through, and that way I can powder them and everything as well. We'll see how it turns out. Alright, so we're going to add some stuff. We got one of the caps for the valve springs we got some other covers here that are all going to be blue as well. So we're just going to go ahead and add them to the mix, get them heated up so we can get them cleaned off. Because everything, like I said, we're in the blue phase now, so all this stuff will be blue. Alright, so we've got all the bolt heads and everything cleaned up, and we're putting them in the oven to finish cleaning. We're going to heat them up to 400. That way everything, all the excess stuff burns off, and then we're going to be ready to coat. So as always, we've got the timer running, and we've got the first batch of bolts in there. We'll see how long it takes and see how they turn out. At 4 minutes and 261 degrees, the bolt heads started flowing. So now we got to reach 400 and cure it for 20 minutes after that, and we'll be done. So they're done. It took about 10.5 minutes for these to reach temperature, and then obviously 20 minutes after that. So about half an hour total for these, and so far they look pretty good. Still waiting for them to cool off to be able to pull them out and take a good look at them. And we'll see how durable this coating is, because obviously you're going to be putting sockets on these and torquing them down and all that kind of stuff. So it'll be a good test. Alright, so there you can see the one bolt, and I think that turned out really well. Now the test is going to be if it fits into the socket with that coating on. Oh yeah, so no difference there as far as thickness on these, and these are the head bolts. And you can see the paint ran underneath a little bit, but since this paint is so durable and all that, I don't think it's going to make a difference. All right, so that does it for this episode of powder coating. Next week, I think I'm going to try to powder coat some mason jars or do something different. The metal stuff is pretty much all the same, so we're going to try to start powder coating some different materials. So until next week, thanks for watching this episode, and have a great weekend.